1. We're diving into a blast from the past, a 1977 Ford Pinto that's up for grabs on Craigslist. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A Pinto? Isn't that the car with the explosive reputation? Well, let's see what this particular model has to offer. The seller claims this Pinto is in excellent condition, which is pretty impressive considering it's been around for over 4 decades. With just 8,770 miles on the odometer, it seems like this wagon has been well preserved. The ad mentions it's a manual transmission, so get ready to put your shifting skills to the test. And check out that green paint job. It's giving me some serious 70s vibes. Under the hood, you'll find a 4-cylinder engine, which should provide enough power to get you from point A to point B. And with a clean title, you can have peace of mind knowing there's no shady history lurking in this Pinto's past. Now here's the kicker. The seller is asking for $7,500. That might seem steep for a car that's often been the punchline of automotive jokes. But hey, if it's truly in excellent condition and all original, as the ad claims, it could be a unique find for the right collector. Of course, as with any used car, especially one that's been around since the days of disco, it's crucial to give it a thorough inspection before making a decision. Check for any signs of wear and tear, and make sure all the safety features are up to par. After all, the Pinto's reputation for safety isn't exactly stellar. All in all, if you're looking for a quirky vintage ride that's sure to turn heads, and maybe raise a few eyebrows, this 1977 Ford Pinto wagon might be worth a closer look. Just be prepared to defend your choice at the next car meet. 2. We're checking out a 1979 Chevrolet Corvette that's been listed on Craigslist for $11,000. This classic American sports car has been turning heads for decades, and now it could be yours. First off, let's talk about the condition. The seller claims it's in excellent shape, but admits that a new paint job would really make it shine like a show car. They mention that the current paint looks good from about 20 feet away, so keep that in mind. It's not perfect, but with a little TLC, this Vetta could be a real stunner. Now let's pop the hood and see what's powering this beast. With an 8-cylinder engine and rear-wheel drive, you can expect some serious performance. The seller has put in a lot of work over the past 2 years, including new headers and exhaust, and they've got the receipts to prove it. It's always nice to see that kind of documentation. The odometer reading is a bit of a mystery, as the seller mentions it has rolled over. However, they do say the car runs great, so that's a positive sign. Just keep in mind that the actual mileage might be higher than the 24,000 shown. Inside, you'll find a brand new sound system that's sure to impress. The seller, who's 78 years young, admits that getting in and out of this low-riding coupe can be a bit of a challenge. But hey, that's part of the charm, right? One thing to note is that the title status is listed as lien. That means there might be an outstanding loan or legal claim on the vehicle. Be sure to get all the details and paperwork sorted out before making any decisions. Overall, this 1979 Corvette seems like a solid choice for someone looking for a classic sports car with a bit of a project aspect to it. The seller has put in some good work, but there's still room for improvement. If you're up for a little challenge and want to cruise around in style, this could be the ride for you. Just remember, as with any used car, it's always a good idea to get a thorough inspection before signing on the dotted line. 3. We've got a real treat for you. A 1964 Pontiac Bonneville convertible that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This beauty is a true time capsule, and it could be yours for just $11,500. First off, let's talk about the condition. The seller describes it as a nice, well-kept driver, which is music to our ears. It's not a fully restored show car, but that means you can actually enjoy driving it without worrying about every little scratch or ding. The white paint job is classic and timeless, perfect for cruising on a sunny day with the top down. Speaking of the top, the seller mentions it's in great shape and works perfectly. That's a big plus considering many convertibles from this era have seen better days in the roof department. Under the hood, you'll find a mighty 8-cylinder engine that's sure to provide plenty of power for those weekend joyrides. The seller has taken good care of the mechanicals too. The gas tank has been flushed, the original Carter carburetor has been rebuilt, and a new fuel pump has been installed. They even went the extra mile and replaced the radiator with an aluminum one, while saving the original for posterity. The odometer shows 90,000 miles, which is relatively low for a car of this age. And with new tires and a clean title, you can hit the road with confidence. One of the coolest things about this Bonneville is how original it is. The seller mentions that even the battery cables are still the ones it left the factory with. That kind of authenticity is hard to come by these days. Now, it's important to remember that this is a 57-year-old car, so it may have some quirks and imperfections. But that's part of the charm, right? It's a vehicle with history and character, and it's looking for a new owner who appreciates those qualities. Overall, this 1964 Pontiac Bonneville convertible seems like a fantastic opportunity for anyone who loves classic American cars. It's been well maintained, has a clean title, and boasts a lot of original features. If you've been searching for a vintage cruiser that you can actually enjoy driving, this could be the one. Just imagine the looks you'll get rolling down the street in this timeless beauty. 4. We've got a real gem for you, a 1979 Cadillac Seville Milan that's been listed on Craigslist for $8,900. This isn't your average Seville though. It's a rare convertible conversion that was done in Florida with only around 500 ever made. Now let's talk about the condition. The seller describes it as good, which is promising. They mention that the car was repowered in the early 90s with an Oldsmobile 455 engine and a Turbo 400 transmission. That's some serious power under the hood. After the engine swap, the car was put into storage on a lift, so it's been well preserved. The seller has taken care of some important maintenance items too. The fuel system has been cleaned, and a new gas tank and battery have been installed. That means you shouldn't have to worry about any pesky fuel issues or starting problems. According to the ad, the Milan runs and drives very well, and everything seems to be in working order. The only minor issue mentioned is that the AC compressor is missing a belt, but that's a relatively easy fix. One thing to keep in mind is that the car is being sold with old registration and a bill of sale, rather than a traditional title. The seller lists the title status as missing, so be sure to get all the details and paperwork sorted out before making any decisions. The odometer shows 86,000 miles, which is pretty reasonable for a car of this age. And with its white paint job and convertible top, this Seville Milan is sure to turn heads wherever it goes. Overall, this 1979 Cadillac Seville Milan convertible seems like a unique find for any collector or enthusiast. It's got a powerful engine, a rare conversion, and appears to be in good condition. Plus, with the work the seller has already put in, you can hit the road with confidence. Just imagine cruising down the street in this classic Cadillac, feeling the wind in your hair and the sun on your face. It's the kind of experience that only a special car like this can provide. If you're in the market for a one-of-a-kind classic that's sure to stand out from the crowd, this Seville Milan might just be the ride you've been looking for. Just be sure to do your due diligence and get all the necessary paperwork in order before making it yours. 5. We're diving into a 1972 Pontiac Lehman's that's up for grabs on Craigslist for $8,000. This classic coupe is just begging for a new owner to either drive it as is or give it a full restoration. First off, let's talk about the condition. The seller describes it as good and mentions that the car has great bones. That's always a promising sign when you're dealing with a vehicle that's nearly 50 years old. The frame, floors, doors, and fenders are all said to be clean, which is a huge plus. Under the hood, you'll find a 350 Pontiac engine with a 4-barrel carb. That's a classic setup that should provide plenty of power for cruising or showing off at the local car meet. The transmission is a TH350 column shift, which adds to the vintage feel. This Lehman's also comes equipped with power steering and power disc brakes up front, with drums in the rear. That's a nice mix of modern convenience and old-school cool. The seller mentions that the car runs and drives well, which is always good to hear. And with just 40,000 miles on the odometer, this Pontiac has a lot of life left in it. Now let's talk about the extras. The Keystone rims give the car a period-correct look, while the Hijacker air shocks and Cherry Bomb dual exhaust add a little bit of attitude. It's the kind of setup that's sure to turn heads at the drive-in or the drag strip. The red paint job is a classic choice for a muscle car like this, and it's sure to stand out in a crowd. And with a clean title in hand, you can buy with confidence. Now, it's important to remember that this is a 48-year-old car, so it may have some quirks and imperfections. But that's part of the charm, right? It's a vehicle with history and character, and it's looking for a new owner who appreciates those qualities. The seller is asking $8,000 for this 1972 Pontiac Lehman's, which seems like a fair price for a car with this much potential. Whether you want to drive it as is or give it a full restoration, this coupe is a blank canvas waiting for your personal touch. One thing to note is that the seller is only accepting phone calls, no texts. They mention this is due to scams, which is understandable. So if you're serious about making this Lehman's yours, be sure to give them a call at the number provided. Overall, this 1972 Pontiac Lehman's seems like a great opportunity for anyone who loves classic American muscle cars. It's got a strong engine, a clean frame, and a ton of potential. If you've been searching for a vintage ride that you can make your own, this could be the one. Just imagine the looks you'll get rolling down the street in this red-hot beauty. 6. We've got a real barn find for you. A 1968 Ford Fairlane 500 sedan that's been listed on Craigslist for just $1,500. This is the kind of project car that gets our hearts racing. Now, let's be real. The seller is upfront about the fact that this Fairlane is a project. They haven't even tried to start it, so it's hard to say what kind of condition it's in under the hood. But that's part of the excitement, right? It's like a mystery waiting to be solved. The ad mentions that the car comes with a clean Florida title, which is a big plus. No one wants to deal with paperwork headaches when they're trying to bring a classic back to life. Under the hood, you'll find a straight 6-cylinder engine. These engines are known for their durability and simplicity, so it could be a good starting point for a rebuild. The seller doesn't provide a lot of details about the car's overall condition, simply stating, "What you see is what you get." From the limited photos, it's clear that this Fairlane has been sitting for a while. The body looks relatively straight, but there's no telling what kind of rust or other issues might be lurking beneath the surface. The interior is a big question mark, too. The seller doesn't provide any photos or information about what's going on inside the car. It could be pristine, or it could be a total disaster. That's part of the gamble with a project like this. One thing to keep in mind is that the seller is firm on their asking price of $1,500. They're not interested in answering a bunch of questions, so if you're serious about taking on this project, you'll need to show up with cash and a trailer. Now, it's important to be realistic about what you're getting into with a barn find like this. It's not going to be a quick or easy fix. This Fairlane is going to need a lot of work to get it back on the road, and it's hard to say exactly what that will entail until you really dig in. But for the right person, this could be an incredible opportunity. The chance to bring a piece of automotive history back to life is a special thing. And at just $1,500, the entry price is relatively low for a project with this much potential. Of course, it's always a good idea to go in with your eyes open. Be prepared for the worst, but hope for the best. And if you do decide to take on this Fairlane, be sure to document the process and share it with the world. We'd love to see this classic get the second chance it deserves. 7. We're diving into a classic beauty that's up for grabs on Craigslist. A 1963 Chevrolet Nova, priced at $8,000. This iconic sedan is a true gem from the golden era of American automobiles. Now, let's get real for a moment. The seller mentions that the car is in good condition, and from what we can see in the pictures, it looks like a solid ride. The Nova sports a straight-six engine, which is known for its reliability and smooth performance. The seller also points out that there's very little rust on the body, which is a huge plus for a car of this age. The tires are in good shape, including the spare, so you won't have to worry about replacing them anytime soon. The seller even goes as far as to say that this Nova is an excellent car ready to restore, and it runs and drives well. However, it's important to keep in mind that this is a 1963 vehicle, and it's not going to be perfect. The odometer reads 152,000 miles, which is quite a bit of distance traveled over the years. While the seller mentions their intention to restore the car, they, unfortunately, have to let it go due to health issues. Despite the minor imperfections that come with age, this 1963 Chevrolet Nova II is a fantastic opportunity for any car enthusiast looking to own a piece of American automotive history. With its straight-six engine, automatic transmission, and clean title, this Blue Beauty is ready for a new owner to give it the love and attention it deserves. So if you're in the market for a classic car with loads of potential, head on over to Craigslist and check out this 1963 Chevrolet Nova. Who knows? It might just be the ride of your dreams. 8. We're taking a closer look at a 1961 Ford Falcon that's currently up for sale on Craigslist. With an asking price of $5,000, this classic truck is sure to catch the eye of anyone who appreciates vintage American vehicles. First things first, let's address the condition of this Falcon. The seller has listed it as being in fair condition, which means that it might have some wear and tear, but it's still a solid ride. The odometer reads 64,124 miles, which is relatively low for a vehicle of this age, and that's definitely a plus. Under the hood, you'll find the original 170 CI engine, which is a testament to the truck's authenticity. The seller mentions that it runs and drives, so you can be sure that this Falcon is ready to hit the road as soon as you get your hands on it. One of the standout features of this 1961 Ford Falcon is the interior, which the seller describes as being in great condition. That's a rare find for a vehicle that's over 60 years old, and it's sure to make your driving experience all the more enjoyable. The truck comes with a clean title, which means that you won't have to deal with any legal hassles when it comes to ownership. It's also equipped with an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive for anyone who might not be comfortable with a manual gearbox. Now it's worth noting that the seller isn't interested in any trades, so if you're looking to make a deal, you'll need to come with cash in hand. Overall, this 1961 Ford Falcon is a fantastic opportunity for anyone who's in the market for a classic truck with plenty of character. While it might not be in perfect condition, it's still a solid ride that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. So, if you're ready to take on a piece of American automotive history, head on over to Craigslist and check out this red beauty for yourself. 9. We've got a real treat for you. A 1964 Chevrolet Corvair that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This classic coupe is priced at $14,000, and let me tell you, it's worth every penny. First off, let's talk about the condition of this Corvair. The seller has listed it as being in excellent condition, and from what we can see, that's no exaggeration. This beauty looks like it's been well maintained over the years, and it shows. Under the hood, you'll find a 6-cylinder engine that's sure to provide plenty of power and performance. The seller has even removed the spare tire to show off the engine compartment, and it looks absolutely pristine. One of the most impressive things about this Corvair is the odometer reading. Just 44,000 original miles. That's incredibly low for a vehicle that's over 50 years old, and it's a testament to how well this car has been cared for. The Corvair comes with a clean title, which means that you won't have to worry about any legal issues when it comes to ownership. It's also equipped with an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive for anyone who might not be comfortable with a manual gearbox. Now, if you're interested in learning more about this 1964 Chevrolet Corvair, the seller encourages you to call or text them for complete details. They seem to be very knowledgeable about the vehicle and are happy to answer any questions you might have. Overall, this Corvair is a rare find and an absolute gem. With its excellent condition, low mileage, and classic style, it's sure to turn heads wherever you go. If you're in the market for a vintage coupe that's been well loved and cared for, this might just be the perfect ride for you. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to Craigslist and check out this 1964 Chevrolet Corvair for yourself. Who knows? It might just be the car of your dreams. 10. We've got an absolute stunner for you, a 1966 Ford Mustang that's been meticulously restored and upgraded, and it's currently up for sale on Craigslist for $14,500. First things first, let's talk about the condition of this pony car. The seller has listed it as being like new, and based on the extensive list of upgrades and restorations, that's no exaggeration. This Mustang has been stripped down to the bare metal, epoxy primed, and repainted in a gorgeous ivy green metallic that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. Under the hood, you'll find a rebuilt 302 cubic inch V8 engine that's been outfitted with an Edelbrock E-Street power package, including aluminum heads, intake, and a matched cam. The engine is also equipped with an MSD atomic fuel injection ignition system, ensuring that this Mustang runs like a dream. The car features a 4-speed Ford top-loader manual transmission with a Hurst competition plus shifter, giving you complete control over the power at your fingertips. The differential is a 3.25 traction lock in an 8-inch rear end, providing excellent traction and handling. The suspension has been upgraded with a grab-a-track system, traction bars, subframe connectors, and front torque boxes, ensuring that this Mustang handles like a modern sports car. The steering has been upgraded to a rack and pinion system, and the front brakes are disc brakes with a dual master cylinder and proportioning valve. The exterior of this Mustang has been given some classic upgrades, including a Shelby-style fiberglass hood, a 1965 rear valance without bumperettes, and a 1965 gas cap. The car rides on new American Racing Torque Thrust D wheels, paired with Uniroyal Tiger Paw Touring ES tires, giving it a classic look with modern performance. Inside, the car has been given a full TMI interior upgrade, including new seat covers, dash, door cards, visors, and headliner. The dash features a Dakota digital system, and the steering wheel is a Shelby-style wooden flat wheel. The car also comes with 3-point shoulder seat belts and pony rubber floor mats. Overall, this 1966 Ford Mustang is an absolute gem that's been given the full restoration and upgrade treatment. With its classic looks, modern performance upgrades, and like-new condition, it's sure to be the pride and joy of any Mustang enthusiast. The seller is open to cryptocurrency as a form of payment and even offers delivery, making it easy for you to get your hands on this beauty no matter where you are. 11. We've got a unique opportunity for you. A 1983 Chevrolet El Camino IROC SS and a 1984 Camaro IROC Zeed, both up for sale on Craigslist for a package deal of $8,500. Let's start with the star of the show, the El Camino. This classic pickup truck is powered by a 5.0-liter V8 engine and is said to run and drive, although the seller mentions that it may need a new starter. The interior could use some love, as the headliner needs to be replaced, and there are some minor details that need to be addressed to bring it up to 100%. Now here's where things get interesting. The seller also has a 1984 Camaro IROC Zeed that they bought specifically for parts to swap into the El Camino. The Camaro's engine only has an incredibly low 36,000 miles on it, which is a huge selling point. Along with the engine, the Camaro also comes with a 6-speed T56 transmission and a differential from a 1995 Camaro SS. While the El Camino may not be in perfect condition, the inclusion of the low-mileage Camaro engine and transmission makes this deal incredibly appealing for anyone looking to build a high-performance pickup truck. It's important to note that the seller is offering both vehicles together as a package deal for $8,500. They're also open to trades, so if you've got something interesting to offer, it's worth reaching out to them. Overall, this 1983 Chevrolet El Camino IROC SS and 1984 Camaro IROC Z package deal is an excellent opportunity for anyone looking to take on a project car with some serious potential. With the low-mileage Camaro engine and transmission, you could build a truly unique and powerful El Camino that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. If you're interested in learning more about this deal, don't hesitate to reach out to the seller on Craigslist. Who knows? This could be the start of your next big project. 12. We've got a 1969 Oldsmobile Cutlass up for grabs on Craigslist, and it's definitely worth taking a closer look at. The seller is asking $4,400 for this classic coupe, and while it may need some work, it's got a lot of potential. First things first, let's talk about the condition of this Cutlass. The seller has listed it as being in good condition, but it's important to note that the odometer is broken, so the actual mileage is unknown. The seller estimates that it has around 100,000 miles on it, but without a functioning odometer, it's hard to say for sure. Under the hood, you'll find a 350 cubic inch V8 engine paired with a 350 automatic transmission. The seller has also added an Edelbrock 4-barrel carburetor and true dual exhaust, which should give this Cutlass a nice boost in performance. The car also features a B&M ratchet shifter, which is a nice upgrade over the stock shifter. Now let's talk about the areas where this Cutlass needs some work. The seller mentions that it needs brake and body work, which is something to keep in mind if you're considering making an offer. The car starts right up and idles well, but the seller notes that sometimes it doesn't want to stop, which could be a sign of brake issues. The paint color is listed as black, but the seller doesn't mention anything about the condition of the paint or body, so it's hard to say how much work it might need in that regard. One thing that's great about this deal is that the seller is throwing in another 1969 Oldsmobile F85 6-cylinder Cutlass post car. While this second car doesn't have a title, it could be a great source of parts for the main car or even a project of its own if you're up for the challenge. Overall, this 1969 Oldsmobile Cutlass is a classic car with a lot of potential. It's got a strong drivetrain with some nice upgrades, but it does need some work in the brake and body departments. If you're willing to put in the time and effort to get it back into top shape, it could be a really cool project car. The seller is asking for $400 or best offer for the package deal, which includes both the Cutlass and the F85. If you're interested in learning more about these cars, don't hesitate to reach out to the seller on Craigslist. With a little bit of work, this Cutlass could be a real head-turner on the road. 13. We've got a real treat for you, a 1965 Plymouth Fury 3 that's up for sale on Craigslist. The seller is asking $14,000 or best offer for this beautiful red coupe, and let me tell you, it's worth every penny. First off, let's talk about the heart of this beast. Under the hood, you'll find a massive 383 big block engine paired with a 727 automatic transmission. This combination is known for its power and reliability, and the seller has put almost 20,000 miles on it since they picked it up 2 years ago. That's a testament to how well this car runs and drives. The seller has done a lot of work on this Fury 3 to keep it in top shape. They've fixed a lot of things over the years, and the only issues they haven't gotten around to are the fuel sending unit and the oil pan gasket. This means that the fuel gauge doesn't work, but all the other gauges and lights function as they should. It's also worth noting that this car doesn't have a heater, but that's a small price to pay for a classic ride like this. One of the best things about this Plymouth Fury 3 is that it's always run great for the seller and has even passed emissions testing. That's a big deal for a car that's over 50 years old, and it speaks to the quality of the engine and the care that's been put into maintaining it. The odometer shows 142,000 miles, which is to be expected for a car of this age. The paint color is a beautiful red that really pops in the sunlight, and the body looks to be in good condition overall. The seller doesn't mention anything about rust or other major issues, so it seems like this Fury 3 is a solid car all around. If you're interested in taking this beauty home, the seller is asking $14,000 or best offer. They encourage potential buyers to come check it out in person to see just how great it is. And with a clean title in hand, you can be sure that this car is ready to be driven and enjoyed for years to come. Overall, this 1965 Plymouth Fury 3 is a fantastic example of a classic American muscle car. With its powerful engine, solid transmission, and well-maintained condition, it's sure to turn heads wherever you go. If you're in the market for a vintage ride that's got plenty of character and style, this could be the perfect car for you. 14. We've got a real gem for you, a 1984 Ford Mustang GT 5.0 Coupe with a T-top that's up for sale on Craigslist. The seller is asking $6,900 for this classic Fox body, and let me tell you, it's got a lot of potential. First off, let's talk about the condition of this Mustang. The seller has listed it as being in good condition, which is a promising start. The odometer shows only 40,000 miles, which is incredibly low for a car that's almost 40 years old. That's a testament to how well this car has been cared for over the years. Now let's dive into the juicy details. Under the hood, you'll find a rebuilt 5.0-liter V8 engine that's been outfitted with flat-top pistons and an aftermarket cam. The seller mentions that the engine was rebuilt about 5,000 miles ago, so it's still fresh and ready to go. Paired with the engine is a C4 built transmission with a shift kit, which should make for a fun and engaging driving experience. The paint color is listed as silver, which is a classic color for a Mustang. The seller doesn't mention anything about the condition of the paint or body, so it's hard to say if there are any imperfections or rust issues. However, given the low mileage and the fact that the car has been well maintained, it's likely that the body is in decent shape. One of the coolest features of this Mustang is the T-top, which allows you to open up the roof and enjoy some fresh air while you're cruising down the road. It's a feature that's becoming increasingly rare on modern cars, so it's definitely a selling point for this classic ride. Now it's worth noting that the seller has some health issues that have made it difficult for them to finish this project. They mentioned that they thought they had time to work on the car, but unfortunately that's no longer the case. This means that there may be some unfinished business with the car, but it also presents an opportunity for the right buyer to take on a project and make it their own. Overall, this 1984 Ford Mustang GT 5.0 Coupe with a T-top is a fantastic find for any Mustang enthusiast. With its rebuilt engine, low mileage, and classic styling, it's got a lot of potential to be a real head-turner on the road. And at $6,900, it's a relatively affordable way to get into the world of classic Mustangs. If you're interested in learning more about this car, don't hesitate to reach out to the seller on Craigslist. With a little bit of work and some TLC, this Mustang could be the ride of your dreams. 15. We've got a real beauty for you. A 1969 Buick Riviera that's been lovingly restored and is now up for sale on Craigslist. The seller is asking $11,000 for this gorgeous piece of American automotive history. And let me tell you, it's worth every penny. First off, let's talk about the restoration work that's been done on this Riviera. The seller mentions that it's been beautifully restored, and based on the description, it sounds like no expense was spared. The 430 engine has been rebuilt and has minimal miles on it, which means it should run like a dream. The body is straight, which is a testament to the quality of the restoration work. Inside, the interior has been almost completely redone, giving this Riviera a fresh and modern feel while still retaining its classic charm. The seller doesn't mention anything about the condition of the interior, but given the overall quality of the restoration, it's safe to assume that it's in great shape. One thing to note is that the odometer shows only 1,000 miles, which is likely the number of miles put on the car since the restoration was completed. This means that the actual mileage of the car is unknown, but given the extensive work that's been done, it's not necessarily a cause for concern. The seller doesn't mention anything about the paint color or the specific condition of the exterior, but based on the description, it sounds like this Riviera is in excellent shape overall. The fact that it's a two-door model is also a plus, as it gives the car a sleek and sporty look that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. Under the hood, you'll find a 430 engine that's been rebuilt and is ready to provide plenty of power and performance. The transmission is listed as automatic, which is a common choice for classic cars like this. The seller doesn't mention anything about the drivetrain or suspension, but given the quality of the restoration work, it's likely that these components have been well maintained and are in good working order. Overall, this 1969 Buick Riviera is a fantastic example of a classic American car that's been given a new lease on life through careful restoration. With its rebuilt engine, straight body, and almost new interior, it's sure to provide its new owner with years of driving enjoyment. If you're in the market for a vintage ride that's got plenty of style and character, this Riviera is definitely worth checking out. 16. We've got a real gem for you. A 1966 Buick Wildcat convertible that's been given a new lease on life and is now up for sale on Craigslist. The seller is asking $14,000 or best offer for this stunning piece of American automotive history. And let me tell you, it's worth every penny. First off, let's talk about the work that's been done on this Wildcat. The seller mentions that it's got a new top and a rebuilt motor with less than 500 miles on it. That's right. This classic beauty has been given a fresh start with a new engine that's barely been broken in. The seller has receipts totaling $17,865 for all the work that's been done, which shows just how much care and attention has been put into this car. The odometer shows only 8,517 miles, which is likely the number of miles put on the car since the engine was rebuilt. This means that the actual mileage of the car is unknown, but given the extensive work that's been done, it's not necessarily a cause for concern. The seller mentions that the car drives very smoothly and that the transmission shifts smoothly as well. This is a testament to the quality of the work that's been done on this Wildcat. The car also has a new battery, which means that it should be ready to hit the road as soon as you get behind the wheel. The paint color is listed as white, which is a classic color for a convertible like this. The seller doesn't mention anything about the condition of the paint or body, but based on the overall description, it sounds like this Wildcat is in good shape. Inside, the seller doesn't provide any details about the condition of the interior, but given the quality of the work that's been done on the rest of the car, it's likely that the interior has been well maintained as well. Under the hood, you'll find a rebuilt 8-cylinder engine that's ready to provide plenty of power and performance. The transmission is listed as automatic, which is a common choice for classic cars like this. The drivetrain is rear-wheel drive, which is also typical for a car of this era. One of the best things about this 1966 Buick Wildcat convertible is that it comes with a clean title, which means that there are no legal or ownership issues to worry about. The seller is asking $14,000 or best offer for the car, which is a fair price given the extensive work that's been done. They also mention that they have paperwork on all the work that's been done, which is a great sign of the car's overall condition and the seller's transparency. It's worth noting that the seller is only accepting phone calls for inquiries about this car. They mention that all other inquiries will be ignored, so if you're seriously interested in making this beauty your own, it's important to give them a call to discuss the details. 17. We've got a real treat for you, a rare 1963 Dodge Dart that's up for sale on Craigslist. The seller is asking $8,500 for this unique piece of American automotive history. And let me tell you, it's a car that's sure to turn heads wherever it goes. First off, let's talk about what makes this Dart so special. The seller mentions that it's a rare model, which is always exciting for collectors and enthusiasts alike. The car features a push-button automatic transmission, which was a cutting-edge technology back in the 1960s and adds to the car's overall vintage charm. Under the hood, you'll find a V6 engine that's ready to provide plenty of power and performance. The seller doesn't mention the specific size of the engine or any modifications that have been made, but given the car's overall condition, it's likely that the engine has been well maintained over the years. The paint color is listed as black, which is a classic color that never goes out of style. The seller doesn't provide any details about the condition of the paint or body, but based on the photos, it looks like the car is in good shape overall. There may be some minor imperfections or signs of age, but that's to be expected with a car that's nearly 60 years old. Inside, the seller mentions that the upholstery is nice, which is always a plus for a classic car like this. The interior is one of the first things that people notice when they get inside a car, so having a well-maintained and comfortable interior is important. The seller doesn't provide any details about the car's mileage or any recent maintenance or repairs that have been done, so it's important to ask about these things if you're seriously interested in making this Dart your own. However, given the overall condition of the car and the seller's description, it sounds like this Dart has been well cared for over the years. One of the best things about this 1963 Dodge Dart is that it comes with a clean title, which means that there are no legal or ownership issues to worry about. This is always a good sign when you're buying a classic car, as it can save you a lot of headaches down the road. Overall, this rare 1963 Dodge Dart is a fantastic find for anyone who loves classic American cars. With its push-button automatic transmission, V6 engine, and nice upholstery, it's a car that's sure to provide its new owner with plenty of driving enjoyment and pride of ownership. And at $8,500, It's a relatively affordable way to get into the world of classic car collecting. If you're interested in learning more about this unique Dart, don't hesitate to reach out to the seller on Craigslist. They don't provide a ton of details in the ad, so it's important to ask any questions you may have and to arrange a time to see the car in person if possible. 18. We've got a real beauty for you. A 1966 Chrysler 300 Coupe that's located near Las Vegas in Pahrump, Nevada. The seller is asking $15,000 for this stunning piece of American automotive history, and let me tell you, it's worth every penny. First off, let's talk about the mileage on this 300. The seller mentions that it has 69,000 original documented miles, which is incredibly low for a car that's over 50 years old. This means that the car has been well cared for throughout its life and has likely been garage kept and maintained by enthusiasts who appreciate its value. Under the hood, you'll find a 383 big block engine that's paired with an automatic transmission. This powerful combination is sure to provide plenty of performance and a smooth driving experience. The seller mentions that the car runs and drives fantastically, which is a testament to the quality of the engine and transmission. The car also features power brakes, power steering, and air conditioning, which are all desirable features in a classic car like this. These modern conveniences make the car more enjoyable to drive and add to its overall value. One of the best things about this 1966 Chrysler 300 is that it has no rust, which is a common problem with classic cars of this era. Rust can be difficult and expensive to repair, so finding a car that's rust-free is always a big plus. The seller doesn't provide any details about the condition of the paint or interior, but based on the photos, it looks like the car is in excellent shape overall. The body lines are straight, and the chrome trim appears to be in good condition. The interior looks clean and well maintained, with no visible signs of wear or damage. Another great thing about this 300 is that it comes with a clean title in hand, which means that there are no legal or ownership issues to worry about. This is always a good sign when you're buying a classic car, as it can save you a lot of headaches down the road. At $15,000, this 1966 Chrysler 300 Coupe is priced fairly for a car of its caliber. While it may be more expensive than some other classic cars on the market, its low mileage, rust-free body, and desirable features make it a smart investment for any collector or enthusiast. Overall, this 1966 Chrysler 300 Coupe is a fantastic find for anyone who loves classic American cars. With its powerful engine, modern conveniences, and rust-free body, it's a car that's sure to provide its new owner with plenty of driving enjoyment and pride of ownership. So what are you waiting for? Take a closer look at this stunning 300 and see if it's the classic car you've been dreaming of. 19. We've got a real gem for you, a 1977 Dodge Aspen that's up for sale on Craigslist. The seller is asking $9,300 for this classic SUV, and based on the description, it sounds like it's in fantastic condition. First off, let's talk about the overall condition of this Aspen. The seller has listed it as being like new, which is incredibly impressive for a vehicle that's over 40 years old. This suggests that the car has been very well maintained throughout its life and has likely been garage kept and cared for by enthusiasts who appreciate its value. The odometer shows just 58,344 miles, which is incredibly low for a car of this age. This low mileage is a testament to how well the car has been cared for and is a great sign for potential buyers who are looking for a classic SUV that's in excellent condition. Under the hood, you'll find a 6-cylinder engine that's paired with an automatic transmission. This combination should provide plenty of power and a smooth driving experience, making this Aspen a great choice for anyone who wants a classic SUV that's easy to drive and maintain. The paint color is listed as green, which is a classic color that looks great on a vintage SUV like this. The seller doesn't provide any details about the condition of the paint or body, but based on the like-new description, it's safe to assume that the exterior is in excellent shape. The seller also doesn't provide any details about the interior of the car. But again, given the overall condition of the vehicle, it's likely that the interior is in great shape as well. The Aspen was known for its spacious and comfortable interior, so this SUV should be a great choice for anyone who wants a classic vehicle that's also practical and easy to live with. One thing to note is that the seller is offering delivery of this Aspen, which is a great option for potential buyers who may not be able to pick up the car in person. This shows that the seller is willing to go the extra mile to make the buying process as easy and convenient as possible. The seller has also mentioned that they have more ads available, so if you're interested in this Aspen but want to see what else they have to offer, it's definitely worth checking out their other listings. Finally, it's worth noting that the seller is located at 1710 Tranquil Church Ard, Mullins, SC 29574, and is open Monsat by appointment only. This means that if you're seriously interested in this Aspen, you'll need to contact the seller to arrange a time to see the car in person. Overall, this 1977 Dodge Aspen is a fantastic find for anyone who loves classic SUVs. With its low mileage, like new condition, and 6-cylinder engine, it's a vehicle that's sure to provide its new owner with plenty of driving enjoyment and pride of ownership. And at $9,300, it's a relatively affordable way to get into the world of classic car collecting. 20. We've got a real treat for you. A 1984 Chevrolet Corvette C4 that's up for sale on Craigslist. RAV Motors is offering this beautiful American classic for just $8,150, and based on the description, it sounds like it's in fantastic condition. First off, let's talk about the history of the Corvette. This iconic sports car has been around since 1953, and the C4 generation, which ran from 1984 to 1996, is known for its sleek, modern design and impressive performance. This particular C4 is from the first year of the generation, making it a true collector's item. Under the hood, you'll find a 5.7-liter V8 engine that's paired with a 4-speed automatic transmission. This powerful combination is sure to provide plenty of thrills on the road, and the seller notes that the engine is smooth and responsive. The transmission is also said to shift smoothly, which is always a plus in a sports car like this. One of the standout features of this Corvette is its clean title and accident-free history. This is a great sign for potential buyers, as it suggests that the car has been well maintained and cared for throughout its life. The odometer shows just 73,782 miles, which is relatively low for a car of this age and is a testament to how well it has been preserved. The exterior of this Corvette is finished in a beautiful brown color that looks great on the car's sleek lines. The seller notes that the car has been freshly detailed, so it should be looking its best. The car also comes with like-new tires, which is a great bonus for anyone who wants to take this Corvette out on the road right away. Inside, you'll find comfortable brown leather seating that looks great and should be a nice place to spend time on long drives. The car also features a digital cluster, which was a cutting-edge feature back in 1984 and still looks cool today. The removable Targa top is another great feature, as it allows you to enjoy open-air driving on nice days. Other notable features of this Corvette include pop-up headlights, which are a classic design element that adds to the car's overall charm. The seller also notes that the steering is responsive, which is always important in a sports car like this. Overall, this 1984 Chevrolet Corvette C4 seems like a fantastic find for anyone who loves classic American sports cars. With its clean title, accident-free history, and low mileage, it's a car that has been well cared for and should have plenty of life left in it. The powerful V8 engine and smooth automatic transmission make it a great choice for anyone who wants a fun and engaging driving experience, while the comfortable interior and removable Targa top make it a great car for summer cruising.